Hello everyone, welcome to the new video lecture of subject Interconnected Power System. Myself Himanshu Joshi, I am an assistant professor in Sri Labhubhai Trivedi Institute of Engineering and Technology, Rajkot. So as per our earlier discussion, I have told you that we have completed our chapter number 5, that is the frequency and voltage control method. So today I will start with a new chapter, that is chapter number 6, and name of that chapter is Power System Stability. So let start the first lecture of our new chapter, Power System Stability. So these are the topics that we have covered in our this chapter. These are the topics for our syllabus. So let starts with the introduction of our new chapter. So we can say that power system is defined as a network of one or more generating units, loads and transmission line, including the equipment associated with it and connected with it. So power system is nothing but the combination of generating unit, load, transmission line and lots of equipment. So we can say that stability of power system is the ability to develop a restoring force which is equal to or greater than the disturbing force. Clear? So whenever any disturbance occurs in a system, so system has inherent capability to handle that disturbing force, and that capability is nothing but the restoring force which oppose that disturbing force. Clear? So whenever there is a disturbance occurs in a system and that disturbance has some kind of disturbing force, and that disturbing force is opposed by restoring force which generates by the system, and that restoring force is equal to or greater than the disturbing force, and by means of that restoring force system will try to maintain the state of equilibrium. So stability problem is more pronounced in the case of large interconnected system. So when system size is more, equipments are more, ratings are more, size is more, then stability problem will occurs for the large power network. And as we all know that our system is interconnected, so stability problem or stability issue are more important for our interconnected power system. So let's define the exact definition of power system stability. So if I will divide the term stability, then I will get two new terms. First one is the stable, second one is the ability. So stable plus ability is known as stability. So the definition of power system stability is look like that: power system stability is the ability of power system for given operating condition, and that operating condition is a normal condition or a disturbing condition. So for given initial operating condition, to regain a state of operating equilibrium after being subjected to a physical disturbance, with most system variables are bounded so that practically the entire system will remain intact. So what does the meaning of power system stability? So the power system stability is the ability of interconnected power system to remain in synchronism after a small or large disturbance which are occurred in a system. That means, for example, that before a disturbance, system is in a normal operating condition. So if disturbance will occur in a system which is already in a normal condition, so system should have the ability to withstand that disturbance, and after that removal of disturbance, system should again back to their normal condition. So system should be able to handle that disturbance, and after the removal of that disturbance, system should again get back to its normal or equilibrium condition. That ability is known as stability. So the ability to remain stable is known as stability. So let define the classification of power system stability. So stability is having a three types of stability. First one is the steady state stability, second one is the transient stability, and third one is the dynamic stability. So this is the classification based on physical nature, size, and process and time span involved. So based on the physical nature of stability, size of disturbance, and process and time span involved, so based on this category, the classification of stability is divided into three parts. First one is the steady state stability, second one is the transient stability, and third one is the dynamic stability. So what does the meaning of steady state stability? So steady state stability is defined as the ability to remain normal and stable operation after being subjected to a gradual or slow change in the load, or we can say that small and slow disturbance. So steady state stability means that system should remain in equilibrium if the disturbances are small and slow. So steady state stability is concerned with upper loading of machine before losing the synchronism. That means it is related with the maximum loading of machine. So under this condition, load is assumed to be applied at a rate which is slow. Clear? The load applied to the machine is, the rate of that load is slow, and system is analyzed by the set of linear equation. Just as the rate of disturbance is slow and small, so we can analyze the steady state stability of system by means of linear equation, because the range or the rate of load or disturbance is steady, small, and slow. So steady state stability include the action of voltage regulator, turbine governor, and load fluctuation, change in voltage regulator setting, change in turbine and governor setting, and load fluctuation. So these all are the action which are steady, small, and slow. So the study of these disturbances comes under the steady state stability. Now next is transient stability. So transient stability is the ability of power system to regain the normal and stable operation after being subjected to sudden and large changes in the load. Now transient stability is the ability of power system to remain in synchronism, after being subjected to the sudden load changes or large load changes in the system. So transient stability will include the disturbances like loss of generator excitation, transmission line switching operations, transmission line faults, loss of generation, faults on buses and transformer. So these are the disturbances comes under the study of transient stability. So the time period for transient system study is up to 1 second. Clear? The study of these disturbances to analyze the transient stability, that analysis of study is up to 1 second. Next is dynamic stability. So dynamic stability is the ability of power system to remain in normal and stable operation after being subjected to initial swing until the system has settled down to the new steady state equilibrium condition. So the swing in a disturbance, whenever system is subjected to swing, so that disturbances or that type of disturbances comes under the dynamic stability. So whenever system is subjected to initial swing until the system has settled down to the new steady state equilibrium condition, that type of stability is known as dynamic stability. So system is said to be dynamically stable if oscillations do not acquire more than certain amplitude and die out quickly. Now we have to understand the meaning of this word, initial swing. That means, for example, if system is having a disturbance, clear, if system is having a disturbance, and due to that disturbance system will start to oscillate, and that oscillation is having a some magnitude and some frequency. So whenever this oscillation are generated due to any kind of disturbance and system will start to oscillate, and that oscillation are die out after some time, and that type of stability comes under the word dynamic stability. So we can say that after a large sudden disturbance, system will regain its equilibrium state or operating point at rated frequency. So after the disturbances has die out, or we can say that oscillations are die out, so our system will again come back to its equilibrium state and frequency comes to the rated frequency. So that large disturbances are such as short circuit or loss of generation or loss of load or loss of excitation. So dynamic stability can be improved by power system stabilizer. This dynamic stability is improved by power system stabilizer, and time period of this dynamic stability is up to 5 to 10 seconds, or it may be up to 30 seconds, depends on the type of disturbance. The study for dynamic stability is around 5 to 10 seconds, or it may go up to 30 seconds. That duration will depends on the types of disturbances. Now comes under the second classification of power system stability. So classification of power system stability comes again in three parts. First one is the rotor angle stability, second one is the frequency stability, third one is the voltage stability. So rotor angle stability again divided into two parts. First one is the small disturbances angle stability and large disturbances angle stability, or it can say the transient stability. So small disturbance angle stability comes under the category of short term, and again transient stability also comes under the category of short term. Next is frequency stability. It having a two types of study. First is short term, second one is the long term. Third type of stability is voltage stability. Again, it's a two types of voltage stability. First one is the large disturbance voltage stability, and second one is the small disturbance voltage stability. So large disturbance again comes under the two types of study, short term and long term, and small disturbance voltage stability is also having a two type of study, that is the short term and long term. So let's define these three types of classification for the stability. So let's discuss the first one is the rotor angle stability. So rotor angle stability refers to the ability of synchronous machine of interconnected power system to remain in synchronism after being subjected to a disturbance. So it's a normal definition, but let's define further. So rotor angle instability occurs due to angular swing of some generator leading to their loss of synchronism with other generator. So rotor angle stability means that if the generator will lose their synchronism with other generator, that type of instability comes under the rotor angle stability. So we know that all the generator are operated in parallel manner, that means in synchronism manner. So if any one generator will lose its synchronism, then that type of stability issues comes under the rotor angle stability. So depends on the ability to maintain or restore the equilibrium between this electromagnetic torque and electromechanical torque of each synchronous machine. If any generator will lose the synchronism, that means there is a difference between electromagnetic torque and electromechanical torque. So when these two torque, electromagnetic torque and electromechanical torque, are equal, then that particular generator will operate in synchronism manner. So if there is a difference between this magnetic torque and mechanical torque, then that synchronous machine will lose its synchronism. So equilibrium will occur when input mechanical torque is equal to that electromagnetic torque of each generator. So as I told you, these two torques are equal, then we can say that that particular generator is in synchronism with all other generator. If any one generator will lose their equilibrium point, then we can say that that particular generator will lose its synchronism. So equilibrium will occur when this mechanical torque is equal to their electromagnetic torque for that particular generator. So in case of any disturbance, the above equality doesn't hold, and that leads to the acceleration or deceleration of each machine. So whenever these two torque are not equal to each other, then we can say that that particular generator will accelerate or decelerate their rotor. That means if these two torque are not equal to each other, then particular machine will increase its speed or decrease its speed. So that type of instability is known as rotor angle stability. So phenomena associated with angle stability are that suppose there is an imbalance between acceleration and deceleration torque. That means electromagnetic torque and electromagnetic torque. Initially what will happen? Initially both torque are equal, and if there is a disturbance occurs in any machine, then these two torque are not equal to each other, and due to that acceleration and deceleration of machine will occur. So due to that acceleration and deceleration, the temporary surplus energy is stored in rotating masses. We know that generator is a mechanical device. So due to that acceleration and deceleration, temporary the extra amount of energy is stored in rotating masses. That means rotor will store the excessive energy for a short time, and due to that the synchronizing torque is limited by pull out torque of power. Synchronizing torque is limited by the pull out torque of power. That means generator will try to remain in synchronism due to that surplus energy and torque which is generated in the rotor. So if that bonding or if that synchronizing limit is exceed, then we can say that stability or synchronized operation may be lost. Clear? Due to that acceleration and deceleration, the energy is stored in rotor, and generator will try to synchronize by means of the torque, pull out torque, which is stored in rotor. And if that limit is exceed, that means if that synchronism limit is exceed, then we can say that stability or synchronized operation may be lost. So it is known as rotor angle stability. Now we have analyzed that rotor angle stability into two parts. First one is the small disturbance and second one is the large disturbance or transient stability. So small disturbance rotor angle stability, it means the ability of power system to maintain the synchronism under small disturbance. So it is known as small disturbance rotor angle stability. So that disturbance are considered to be sufficiently small so that we can analyze this system by means of linearization of system equation, which is permissible for analysis. If the disturbances are lower, then we can analyze that particular system by means of linear system equation for the analysis. So if disturbances are small, that kind of stability analysis is known as small disturbance rotor angle stability. Now next is large disturbance rotor angle stability or transient stability. So it is known as the ability of power system to maintain in synchronism under severe disturbance or large disturbance, such as short circuit of transmission line. So if disturbances are severe and large, then that kind of rotor angle stability is known as large disturbance rotor angle stability, or it is known as transient stability. So in this case disturbances are large, so that linearization of system equation is not permissible for the purpose of analysis. We have to move towards the non-linear system equation, and the time of frame of interest for small disturbance stability studies is of the order of 3 to 5 seconds. If disturbances are small, clear, if the disturbances are small, then we can analyze the transient stability for 3 to 5 seconds, and if disturbances are more, then we can extended the study of the disturbances up to 10 to 20 seconds. Clear? For small disturbance we have to analyze the system for stability analysis for 3 to 5 seconds, and if disturbances are more, then we have to study that particular system for 10 to 20 seconds. Okay, next is voltage stability. After the rotor angle stability, another type of stability is voltage stability. So voltage stability refers to the ability of power system to maintain the steady state voltage at all buses in a system. System has to maintain the steady state voltage at all buses in a system after being subjected to a disturbance from a given initial operating condition. That means that voltage stability means the ability of power system to maintain the voltage at each and every bus after being subjected to a disturbances from initial operating condition. So ability of system to maintain the voltage constant at all buses is known as voltage stability. So voltage stability depends on the ability of system to maintain or restore the equilibrium condition between load demand and supply from power system. So this is the another definition of voltage stability, that is the ability to maintain the equilibrium condition between demand and supply from power system. So the instability in voltage, suppose instability in voltage that may results in the form of fall or rise of voltage of some buses. That means due to disturbance, what will happen with voltage? If disturbance will occur in a system, then what will happen with the voltage? That may results in the form of fall or rise of voltage of some buses. That means due to disturbances, it is possible that voltage may rise or fall at some particular buses. That means due to disturbance, what will happen? Voltage may be rise or may be fall at some buses, and due to rise and fall, the stability issues of voltage will generated. So the phenomena with voltage stability is look like this. Say for example, suppose high load reduce the voltage in area. Suppose loading will increase. So that increment in the load will increase the drop in that particular area. And due to increment of load, the voltage will reduce in that particular area. Clear? So due to that temporary load reduction will occur in that particular area. Clear? Due to increment of load or increment in the drop, the voltage will reduce in that particular area, and due to that temporary load reduction will occur in that particular area. So due to that, the power transfer capacity of that area will reduce. Due to that, power transfer capability of that area will reduce. So due to that, we can say that demand will recover. Due to that, load demand will recover. So after the reduction in the load, we can say that demand will recover, and after recover of demand, voltage will further reduce. Clear? Demand will recover, so again load will increase. So load will increase, and due to that, voltage will further increase. So if we are not able to find the solution of this problem, then we can say that voltage will collapse. So what will happen? We can say that high loading will reduce the voltage, and due to that load reduction will occur, and due to that power transfer capability will reduce, and after some time demand will recover, and it will further reduce the voltage. And if we are not able to find the solution, then voltage collapse will occur, and it is known as the voltage instability. So again, voltage stability comes in two parts. Small disturbances voltage stability. So it is known as the voltage stability, which refer to the system ability to maintain the voltage, maintain the steady voltage when subjected to a small disturbances. So small disturbance voltage stability means the ability of system to maintain the steady state voltage for small disturbances such as incremental change in load. For example, that disturbances might be incremental change in system load. So due to that incremental changes, the voltage will change. So the stability for that voltage is to maintain the voltage constant. So it is known as small disturbance voltage stability. Now consider the large disturbance voltage stability. So it refers to the system ability to maintain the steady voltage, for large disturbances, such as fault, loss of generation or circuit contingencies. Clear? If system is able to maintain the large disturbances for voltage, then that type of stability is known as large disturbance voltage stability. So the study period for this type of stability is from few second to tens of minute. If disturbance is less, then study will restrict to few seconds, and if disturbance is large, then study will in terms of tens of minutes. Now consider the small comparison between rotor angle stability versus voltage stability. So we can say that rotor angle stability is basically a generator stability, while voltage stability is associated with load side. Clear? Rotor angle stability is related to generator stability, means the disturbances occurs at generator side. And if we talking about the voltage stability, then disturbances occurs at load side. So this is the first comparison between rotor angle stability and voltage stability. Now consider the second comparison, that rotor angle stability is mainly interlinked to the real power transfer, whereas voltage stability is mainly related to reactive power transfer. We have already learned in our just chapter number 5 that voltage is depends on reactive power. So it is obvious thing that voltage stability is considered mainly on the basis of reactive power transfer, and on the same way we will study in this particular chapter that rotor angle is interlinked to the real power transfer. So in short, I can say that rotor angle stability is directly related to real power and voltage stability is directly related to reactive power transfer. So these are the 2 points that will correlate the rotor angle stability and voltage stability. Okay, so last type of stability is frequency stability. So frequency stability refers to the ability of power system to maintain the steady frequency, following a severe system upset resulting in a significant imbalance between generation and load. So we know that if due to any kind of disturbance, if the balance between generation and load is not matched, then it directly affect the frequency, it will directly impact the system frequency. So frequency stability is the ability of system to maintain the steady state frequency, if there is a significant imbalance between generation and load will occur. Clear? If there is an imbalance between generation and load, then system should be able to maintain the steady state frequency, and that is known as frequency stability. So frequency stability leads to the disturbances like tripping of generating unit and load. Clear? If tripping of generating station or load will occur, then it will impact directly on frequency. So it leads to the tripping of generating unit and loads. So frequency stability may be a short term phenomena or long term phenomena, depends on the disturbance. Clear? Depends on the disturbance. Frequency stability can be studied in terms of short term or long term. If disturbance is small, then study should restrict to short term, and if disturbance is large, then study will go beyond for long term phenomena. So it is known as frequency stability. So we can say that power system is always required a normal and stable operation. Power system is always requirement having a normal and stable operation at rated operating condition. So if system will operate at normal and stable and rated load, then it also requires improvement of stability. So stability of power system is improved by shunt and series compensation by means of governing equipment and FACTS devices. Clear? FACTS means flexible AC transmission system. FACTS means flexible AC transmission system. So stability can be improved by using shunt and series compensation by means of governing equipment and flexible AC transmission system controller. Okay, now next definition is the stability limit. Next is stability limit. So stability limit means the maximum power that can be transferred. Stability means the maximum power that can be transferred in a network, between source and load without loss of synchronism. So that is known as the stability limit. That means a particular generator, that how much power it can transfer, from generating station to the load without loss of synchronism. It is known as stability limit. So there are three types of stability limit. First one is the steady state stability limit, second one is the transient stability limit, and third one is the dynamic stability limit. Clear? So that is known as stability limit. That is the maximum power transfer without loss of synchronism from source to load, and it has three types: steady state stability limit, transient stability limit, and dynamic stability limit. So the transient stability limit is lower than the steady state stability limit. How we can say that transient stability limit is lower than the steady state stability limit? So let give the answer for this particular statement, that due to large power changes and the violent fluctuation of voltage will occur. Clear? If disturbances are large, then due to that large disturbances there is a large power changes and large fluctuation of voltage will occur. So we can say that due to that large power changes and large fluctuation in voltage due to large disturbances, we can say that machine or group of machine may go out of step. That means it is possible that due to that large disturbances, a particular machine or group of machine will lose its synchronism, and this large disturbance is responsible for loss of stability. It is possible that due to that disturbances, system could not remain in synchronism or not able to remain in synchronism. So due to that, it is possible that it can lose its stability. Clear? So this is the first probability, that if it is not able to handle that disturbance, then it is possible that it can lose of stability. Now the second side is that otherwise it may be possible that it can maintain the stability. It can maintain the stability if same large load is applied gradually. Clear? If the disturbance, due to disturbance, load is removed. So it is possible that system can maintain the stability if that large amount of load is applied gradually. So this is the main reason that transient stability limit is lower and steady state stability limit is higher. Clear? So this is the main reason that transient stability limit is lower and steady state stability limit is higher. So with this we will conclude our session. Thank you very much. Please see this full video for the introductory part of chapter number 6, power system stability. If you have any doubt, any question, you can give your doubt and question in comment section. And if you like my video, then please like it, share it and subscribe my YouTube channel Himanshu Joshi. Thank you very much.